Does your cabbage stir-fry always end up more boiled than stir-fried? At first you hear that sizzle, but you keep stirring, and water starts cooling before the cabbage can brown. Then the sauce goes in, and the pan gets even wetter. Listen, the sizzle is gone. The pan is starting to simmer. This isn't stir-frying anymore, it's boiling. The cabbage turns soft and watery, and the flavor and crunch are gone. If this sounds familiar, follow along, and you'll get cabbage that's fragrant, lightly browned, and crisp tender too. Start with about 1 pound of cabbage leaves. Tear the leaves into pieces. Those ragged edges also help the sauce cling. Don't throw away the thick center ribs. Slice them thin on a bias so they cook at the same pace as the leaves. Next, rinse the cabbage well. There are two main sources of water in the wok. The first is water carried in from washing, and this one is completely avoidable. Put the leaves in a salad spinner and get them as dry as you can. Look at this. I spun almost 3 tablespoons of water off just 1 pound of cabbage. If all of that goes into the wok, the pan has to spend its heat boiling off water before it can start browning the cabbage. Next, get everything ready before cooking. Sliced garlic, dried chilies, and a little shredded carrot for color. Mix the sauce ahead of time. 1½ tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of Chinese black vinegar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Stir until well combined. Do this before you start, because once the cabbage is fragrant, the sauce needs to go in right away. Before we start, let's talk batch size. I'm using a 14-inch cast iron wok. Its thick walls hold heat well, but fill it to the top and the temperature still drops fast. More cabbage also means more leaves releasing water at once. On a home burner, keep this wok to about 1 pound per batch. Now preheat the empty wok to at least 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the wok is hot, add a little extra cooking oil. When the oil starts to shimmer, add the sliced garlic and dried chilies. Let them sizzle for a few seconds, just until fragrant. Add the cabbage and shredded carrot. Now, we're dealing with the second source of water, the moisture inside the cabbage. Heat draws some of it out, and you can't stop that completely. Spread it out, then leave it alone for 10 to 20 seconds. Let the leaves make real contact with the hot wok. Here's the key. Keep the wok hot, and moisture evaporates as it comes out. Crowd the pan, and evaporation falls behind. Keep tossing, and the leaves lose contact with the hot surface. Like this. Once water pools, the wok's heat goes into boiling it away, and browning stalls. Toss once, spread it out, gently press it flat, then leave it alone. Repeat 2 or 3 times. Constant tossing feels right, but it keeps the leaves off the hot surface. Toss less. That's how the browning builds. Before the sauce goes in, look for 3 signs. The leaves are just starting to wilt, but haven't collapsed. A few edges have browned, and you can still hear a sharp, steady sizzle, with no water bubbling underneath. Now pour in the sauce and toss just a few times. As soon as it coats the leaves, get the cabbage out of the wok. This final step should take seconds, not minutes. Don't let the cabbage simmer in the sauce. Remember, the sauce should finish the cabbage, not cook it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. See you next time.